Good evening, folks. Red County Blue Nation, Westcliff, Colorado, great states of Americans. Stephen Rorick, James McMahon, Mike Boring. Jimmy, how are you this evening, buddy?
We're doing good, man. Things have warmed up and we got past the snowfall and yeah, we're doing good. The grass is coming on pretty good and really don't have anything to whine about. Got a bunch of plants started.
Well, there's plenty of shit.
Oh, yeah, there is, but it's not productive.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. But yeah, we're getting ready to get the garden rolling and I know you got a pretty good project going on with that backhoe thing, so.
Yeah, the snow just went off yesterday off the meadow, and we were right Johnny on the spot, double dragged that son of a gun, and there's already dust flying off this morning. So that snow, I mean, it's soaked in and it needs another one bad.
Yeah, she was pretty dry. I mean, that green grass is coming on pretty good and it's pretty resilient.
It looks good, but I mean, it just don't grow if there's no moisture. As soon as the ground goes dry, more often than not, most of the time, the grass gets green around here, and then it goes brown, and you have to bring it back with irrigating water, which there ain't no irrigating water, so we're relying on Mother Nature, so hopefully she'll be kind to us.
So there's going to be there'll be a little stuff come off the mountains, huh? A little bit, but it's just not enough to sustain it.
It's too far away to see what is, and just like today, man, it's 15, 20 mile an hour wind. I mean, the wind just constantly it's like a hairdryer. I mean, the guy thinks, oh, we got some moisture, but 4, 5, 6 days of wind, it'll all be gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
High mountain desert.
that's what it is.
So yeah, hopefully we'll get a little bit more snow and get things going.
Yeah,
I mean, we water is life, and everything revolves around water, and that's.
everybody thinks, oh, we got a snow, we're saved, but I mean, don't get me wrong, it's like being out in the desert and getting a drink, but like you need another one, right?
Well, you need a whole bunch. Just it's so dang arid here, you know. It
Good.
just sucks that moisture right out, and things go south pretty fast. So, nothing easy about making a living at 8,500 feet in the Rockies.
No, that's why we give up on it a long time ago, or why, the old man retired and I kind of went into alternative stuff. These guys last few years, they've made it look easy. Been a lot of water, and hay prices was cheap last year, but last few years before that, I mean, they were exorbitant. So
Yeah, trying to make a little bit of grass-fed beef up here is. Yeah, you put $10 in and you get $1 out. I mean, it's people think, oh, it's grass-fed. You're doing it from home, and oh yeah, you must be. You could do that real cheap. Surprise. You start doing the numbers, man. You got to get $35 a pound. For homegrown stuff, and that's owning a pretty good sized ranch.
yeah, America has a cheap food policy. We got used to having cheap food, and we count on cheap food. But at the end of the day, if you want to raise your own stuff and make it clean, it's not cheap.
No, we've been doing it for 25 years, and I guarantee you we've spent a lot of money milking cows, making cheese and butter and yogurt and things of that nature, having our own chickens and raising up our own cows and having our own beef. I mean, it's priceless. If you look at the toxicity of what's in the food system, especially after that sludge-matic thing.
Well, yeah, that's. I mean, and how just like the dioxins too. I mean, there's so much stuff there's a bunch of stuff guys just don't even know about at this point.
Yeah, no, every day's a gift, and enjoy your life and live wholehearted and give it all you got and love as much as you can. And I don't mean, hippie love. I mean, mature love.
We're talking about hot 10,000 degrees love.
Exactly. Exactly. Somebody needs a hugging and someone needs an ass whooping.
I think I already put about 10, 12 pounds, between 12 and 15 pounds of rod on that bucket already.
Yeah. It's a nice rig. I mean, it's worth putting some money into.
Yeah,
It's
it's going to be nice when we get done with it.
what is that? Was it a 510C?
510C John Deere, yeah.
With the extender hoe.
This would be like an 86 to 91, I think, or something like that.
Hell of a nice rig. It just needed some loving.
Yep.
And thanks for you doing that, because the guy that's a good deal. That's a priceless piece of equipment.
No, we're going to get him dialed in, man. It's going to be, there's a few things that put on the back burner because it would take a while to get it squared away, but I know you guys are.
Yeah, we need to use it quite a bit out there at his ranch. So it's pretty priceless piece of equipment. But thank God that you're giving it some loving, because that thing, she was sucking that. You start pouring 5 and 10 gallons of fluid in her, it starts adding up. At $100 for 5, or it's at least $100 for 5, ain't it? 70 if you can find it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty expensive. It used to be like $23 for 5 gallons of trans hydraulic fluid. But yeah.
Yeah.
Shit howdy.
Well, and not to mention, I mean, it's guy likes, when it's leaking real bad, it's leaking out on the ground.
Yeah, you don't need to be contaminating your ground or running out and then jacking up your pump. Boy, oh boy. Then
Well,
you really go
I'd-
backwards.
I'd rather have I'd rather have hydraulic oil out on my ground than I would sludge or dioxins, right? Burning PVC, folks, just so you know, do not burn PVC, right? That stuff is just as lethal as the forever chemicals. That stuff is.
I don't even want to think about how much of that I've heated up to bend as electrician or a plumber. Not knowing it, but I'd play hell to do that now. In knowledge, here again, knowledge is the power. If you don't know, you're just in peaceful ignorance. Get the job done.
All the fumes coming off that
Oh my God.
hard surfacing rod. I can smell that. I can tell when I'm burning that hard surfacing rod because it's got its own smell. But yeah, I'm a master at trying to hold my breath.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, we live in a chemical world. There's no doubt about it. But it's convenience. We're not going to the creek with a bucket and picking up water, going to the outhouse and freezing our ass off and wiping with a Sears Roebuck. Although they probably had a little better than we did. Thinking about it, it's a little bit more natural.
Well, they might have been natural, but their life expectancy wasn't no longer. So, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean,
It is what it is, man. Life is full of a lot of juggling.
we're at where we're at. I mean, there's no way to change what it is. I mean, that's why, as always, folks, education is the key. Understanding your surroundings is the key to staying out of harm's way, thriving,
Yeah, situational
Success.
awareness, and then living your convictions.
and knowing where the hell to stay away from. Like burning PVC, don't breathe that.
Yeah, that's just not a good thing.
No, and I mean, how many times have people like burn their trash fire and there's probably a piece of plastic in there?
Oh, all kinds of plastic.
Yeah.
All kinds of PVC.
And
Polyvinyl chloride.
The chloride stuff is the one that makes the dioxin.
Yeah.
So regular plastic, I don't know exactly if it forms I don't think that it forms the dioxin unless it has chlorine in it.
Yeah, that's out of my wheelhouse. I don't know all of it. I like to pride myself on knowing a bunch of that stuff, but that's out of my wheelhouse. So.
Well, and that's what interests me, but we kind of, I guess our topic tonight is we're going to talk about the state Republican Party. I tried to do some research on it the best I could. I really don't understand as much as I would like to. But one of the biggest problems, folks, that we have, one, this is one of the things that just floorboards me with the Republican Party, is that they don't never have any money. And so up here, besides last year, when they actually made whatever they did, they made as much money as they had for years and years and years. Before that, they didn't have enough money for the representatives to even go vote. I mean, if you were a representative from this county, you basically had to pay that on your own.
Oh, to go vote at the big time.
Yeah, to go represent our county at the state level, you would
level.
have to pay your own way. And I mean, that just always seemed really
petty.
Well, it just was hard for me to grasp how that could be, right? I mean, there's plenty of money out there. Republicans have plenty of money. Like, why isn't there any money? And I was talking with Jack, the previous chair for the Republican Party up here, and I was going over some of the stuff about Dave Williams, trying to get a grasp on him, because we'd talked before about, there was some accusations about how he spent like $60,000 of money that he wasn't supposed to spend, supposedly slandering his opponents. And I guess, and that's what Chat GPT told me too, that them accusations were never verified. So they were pointing the finger at him, but it turns out that maybe that's not the case. But Jack told me that, you know, when Dave Williams came in there, that they didn't have any money. Like, he worked 3 or 4 months with no salary at all. And so the big boys, right, I mean, at the state level, they get a salary. But, like, so if you get elected as a chairman, they're going to, all your constituents, all your elected officials are going to say how much you can make. Which I don't know how that works. Or
now, when you say how much you make,
yeah, your salary, the people,
the compensation that you can receive.
If you're the chairman, if you get elected as the chairman, the people that are voted in there, the secretary and the treasurer and all these, they're going to determine how much money you get paid to do your duty. And why that's not a set thing is really strange to me. But, I mean, so I guess if they like you, you can make a lot, and if they don't like you, you ain't going to make nothing. But the fact is when Dave Williams came in there wasn't any money. So that's where I'm going with this whole, how it seems odd to me why the Republican Party doesn't have any money.
I mean, it's absurd.
Well, and
but
so
here again, the Republican Party here in Custer County, I know we could do a lot of work there.
Well, we could, but we got to hand it to last year's people that were
the
involved.
Fundraisers?
Yeah, all the people that were involved, no matter what happened or this or that, or, you know, people had qualms and quarrels and this and that, but they raised more money than they had for years and years and years.
Yeah, and it seemed like that in the environment, I think, spawned that too, because we were having Biden stimulated a lot of stuff. You know, he got people going, man, we need to throw some money at this problem as a Republican. And then Trump throwing in the towel, not throwing in the towel, but throwing in where we're trying to raise the standard of the politics. So that was a natural occurrence. Well, you see what I'm saying there? People wanted to get behind a winning horse, not a loser.
I still can't understand. It still doesn't make any sense to me that, like, why we don't have money all along, because Republicans traditionally are
stout.
capitalist.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
They're-
No, I
they're
wholly
big
agree with
business,
you.
Right? So I mean, you
So,
would
so
think
yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
would have.
So that's exactly right, Stephen. And I look at it. I'm a situational awareness person, and I think along those same lines is how come we don't have severe abundance? How come we're not able to send these folks up there to represent us properly at the state level? And not only that, but be able to represent our local representatives and give them a little bit of money for their campaign and make this thing strong. And I come down to that, we don't even have an email list, with the Republican, the Custer County Republican Committee deal. There's folks out there, they're precinct people. And I just don't think we're aggressive. I don't think we're inviting people and helping them get engaged. And I don't want to badmouth or badger somebody, but I'm just a common sense kind of person. It's like, you know what? The school thing's taking place over here, and then you got the medical thing over here, and there ought to be emails going out educating the constituent who's voting on different things, and we ought to be a little bit more involved, and here we are.
And so I mean, we've had this conversation before.
Well,
about
it's
how-
never going to end.
How we've never once have I ever been approached by my precinct committee person, ever. Never once have I ever been approached from the Republican Party about anything.
In Custer County, our tight little knit community.
And so, I mean, the old guard kind of changed. I mean, I don't know many of them people, but, Mr. Staggerwalt, and there's a few of the old guard. Donnelly, I think Mr. Donnelly was on there, and some of that stuff. And there's some newer, younger people that are trying to step up, but it doesn't seem like what you're saying. I mean, they're not really.
There's no outreach program that I'm seeing.
There's no outreach program, so it's like, if you really want to generate everything, money, integrity,
Transparency.
horsepower, people, numbers, all of that are right. Like, you need to, and there's none of that, right? So the Republican, the CCRCC, Custer County Republican Central Committee. I mean, once this new election has taken place, they haven't sent, and so I haven't been to one single meeting since then, because I don't know when they are. And I talked to Ann about it. She mentioned, she said, well, she was telling me it was Thursdays and this and that. And I said, I mean, I get so busy, I don't have a calendar like with the dates marked out, like I'm going to town to the Republican Party, right? So when Jack and his crew were in there, and Gene and Kim Heath, and kudos to all those folks.
Amen to that.
Right,
Thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Yeah, they
guys.
worked hard at putting them emails out.
As a reminder to the working folk.
And Ann made the comment to me, she says, well, we don't have that database anymore. But yet they have this huge Liberty Rocks database. So Liberty Rocks, I mean, I'm getting Liberty Rocks emails that I've never gotten before, but yet I can't get one for the Republican Party. And Miss Canterbury, Jean Canterbury, made a real good comment to me. She says, well, doesn't she take everybody's email address at the sign-in at the meetings?
Every time.
So, I mean, right there's the core database of the people that were showing up. So, I mean, you're not even sophisticated enough to even get the information that you've been taking compiled together and try to keep the ball rolling of what we were doing. And so, I mean, it makes you wonder what's going on. But with all that aside, I mean,
I did want to mention one other thing on that. I'm getting ready to do a ad in George's paper, in the Sentinel, and maybe one in Geordie's. But what I'd like to do is be able to get the precinct colors of the county. And it'd be precinct 1 through 6, because I believe it's kind of close. It's not exact, but each commissioner basically possesses 2 precincts. But what I'd like to be able to do is get that color-coded map, and somebody's got it. And I want to be able to put it in George's paper. And have the folks in the county email their communication to that particular precinct, so that we can really consolidate and get an information. See what I'm saying?
I totally agree. And I mean, so I kind of have to back you up there when you were working at trying to get to be a precinct committee person, and you got voted out, or you didn't get enough votes to win, and Lisa got the votes. I mean, that was one of the really good ideas that I thought you had, where you were trying to get more people. They ain't trying to get nobody, folks. And I mean, that's apparent by the way that they deal with stuff, right? They don't, and we're not trying to slander them, right? It's just like, but it's obvious, right? They don't care if you show up, right? There's no outreach. I seen my PCP today at lunch, and she never once mentioned to me that we might be having a new meeting or anything. And I the other day, Ann called me and told me about the letter that I wrote. She thought that was a real classy letter. And so I asked her, I said, well, there's a reason why I haven't been showing up to the CCRCC, because I don't get on the email. And she's like, well, we're working on yada, yada, yada. But I seen the treasurer and my PCP at the cafe the day of the meeting that I knew. Ann told me it was that Thursday. Neither one of them ladies mentioned to me that we were having a meeting that night.
And I had the same experience. I was at the gas station behind, and she knows who was there buying 3 Reese cups and a Snickers, and she had to go to Denver to visit somebody. Not one word mentioned about, hey, Jimmy, tomorrow night, hopefully you can be there.
Well, yeah.
So here again, these are just situational awareness.
Where do you think where's the money going to come from to support the party if nobody even knows what the hell's going on?
Well, it's very, to me, when you're in a servitude, when you're a servant, and I think you are, aren't you?
I mean, I don't disagree.
Don't call it a servant. Just say
you are. I mean, it's an elected position. So I mean, that's part of it. It's an elected position. I mean, you're not volunteering. That's one of, I heard the girls say a few times, and I'm not trying to pick on them, but it's like, it's kind of strange that they're all women, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess there's a couple guys, new guys, or I don't know who they are, right? Because I don't know. We never get invited. So, and I'm not going to, I have so much going on in my life. The Republican Party doesn't have enough horsepower to really do a whole lot. Like, their only real thing they have is if one of the commissioners goes down, something happens to one of the commissioners, they have the authority to
appoint a temporary position.
Yes. Or a new elector. Somebody that would be in the position to be able to
fill them shoes.
Yeah, temporary, and then
wait till the new election.
But like, why don't they want us involved is the thing.
So if you look,
I mean, you're over here doing all this stuff. I mean, you were the I mean, you have all these good ideas about trying to get these emails together to get people involved, and we already know. I mean, I don't mean to, I'm only saying this in good faith, but Brock Flynn, I mean, he walked out of that one meeting worse matter than I was, right? I mean, he's you all can F yourself till you die, right? Because you're so full of shit that I'm done with you. I'm not going to ever be a part of this because you are that derelict.
Yeah.
And there's a real problem there, folks, when you have someone that is a decent community figure like Brock is.
Absolutely. Him and his family are.
Yeah, they've been here a long time.
They got youngins, and they're.
Yeah, and they've been selling real. They're integrated part of the community here for quite a while.
Beautiful people.
And for him to say, I don't want to be a part of the Republican Party because this is how dysfunctional it is.
Yeah.
That's.
So here again, it's going to just take a handful of people, maybe one or two. Anyways, hopefully, because the cabal, the exterior cabal, and I call that the CCRCC, that's the cabal outside of the courthouse.
Well, and so
and I'm concerned about just exactly what their agenda is and their special interest and who they really serve. Who do they really serve?
We know who they serve. They serve each other and theirself. They don't serve the general public, or they wouldn't act the way that they do, right? Like, if you're the treasurer and you're my PCP person, but you didn't even tell me that the meeting was that night, but you're going to come up to me, Nancy, Mrs. Drummond, right? And I'm not saying this in a bad way, but I'm just saying you'll come up to me and speak to me in the cafe, but yet you don't have enough wherewithal to tell me that the meeting is tonight. So you think I can read your mind, or you think I automatically know from nowhere? Like, there's no email, there's no text, there's no nothing. But yet, why didn't you say, oh, by the way, the meeting is tonight. Hope to see you there. That's not part of you guys' program, right? It's like you don't want us there. Or that's the way you make us feel.
Well, that's the appearance that they give off.
It's the way you make me feel, right? Appearance is one thing, but the way that you make me feel about the situation.
Just don't come. We don't need you.
Yeah, you didn't ever you never said one single word about the community, and so, like, how do you expect to raise any money, right?
So now they've got the one band stand, and I wished I'd have had a poster, because Dawn, thank you for really getting involved with. She got involved with Tracer. Dawn, how do you say her last name?
Ramsdale.
Dawn Ramsdale. Dawn, you've stepped up to the plate. You're trying to hold this thing together somewhat, and I know you really don't have an aptitude for it. You were very clear on that, but
I got a huge problem with that. The problem is that Lynn Arrigo offered to help you girls, and you filed a lawsuit against him, which is complete bullshit. He was just trying to help you figure out what you were doing. And so now you figure out, oh, we're in hot water. Yeah, no shit, dumbass.
Well, Stephen, that's why we don't want you there. We don't need you at these deals. Okay?
Oh, wait, it's almost over our head, but we're going to...
Get the puppet! Get the puppet!
We're going to...
Get the puppet!
We're going to sick our...
Thanks,
We're
George.
going to sick our attorneys on Lynn Arrigo because he went to the CCRCC and told them that you guys don't know what you're doing. He didn't come at you personally. He didn't...
There's the most professional... The most professional...
If you had to choke it up, it's probably about a $10,000-$12,000 deal for him to do what he did. Right?
Yeah, and realistically, that's
and you're going to sue it. You're going to threaten to sue his ass.
So there again.
So I have no. I mean,
I understand, Stephen, and I share that position with you, brother. I'm trying to do the olive branch or something. And most people that know me know I'm black and white. There's no gray area in me. It's either right or it's wrong. You're either trying or you're not. You're either lying or you ain't. Just the way it is.
The whole fact of the matter is that you're gonna threaten a man.
Sure.
You're gonna threaten a man that offers the help.
Professional.
Professional. This is not just a peanut gallery.
He's the guy that offered to go in and straighten out the books in the county.
This man knows more about this stuff than Vernon Roth will ever know. He can be 500 years old and he won't know what Lynn Arrigo knows. But he's the man in charge over here? Okay. And Lenny offered to do it for free. It's like,
Don't want you here, man.
Well, that's what it is. It's obvious to see. Like it's like
It's almost like
Nancy, you're gonna sick your attorneys on Lynn Arrigo because he offered to help you, and now Jimmy's over here saying about how great Dom's Ramsdale is when she's over there blowing hot air at Lenny when he was just there to help. He's like, this is what's the matter, and then these girls don't know anything, right? They're just offended.
she must have been on her menstrual cycle when she responded.
Whatever.
To
I
me.
mean, that's
Just kidding. Because I got a pretty nasty little email, and I was trying to reach out and say, look, we need to look at this thing. There's rules and regulations. We've got to be accountable.
And
then you get
and then we wonder why the only recourse is to call the school ground teacher, is to be a tattletale. And that's what Lenny's talking about. He's like, I'm going to turn this over to the state so that they'll audit the books at the county because they can't seem to get it figured out. And we've been through this, folks. The reason why they don't want to get it figured out is because they're hiding stuff. That's just all there is to it. I mean, it's obvious, right? Psychology 101, human behavior, mathematics, all of this stuff added together. I mean, Ray Charles can see this stuff.
So we need to get the cancer cut out of the county, and hopefully we're going to be able to do that.
But back to part of what we're talking about tonight is the Republicans, and so the open primary, right, is a real big problem as well. So I don't know if everybody's familiar with the open primary, but what an open primary does is lets an independent vote for the Republicans. Excuse me. So what they can do is basically an independent can go in there and say, well,
Water down the prime.
yeah, if there's a Republican that doesn't like guns, then I'm going to vote for him.
Yeah, they can water down the prime.
And so it's I mean, as Jack put it earlier, it's kind of like the Denver Broncos, kind of like the Rams picking the choice for the Broncos. I mean, that's what it is. Why? And so here's another thing that's like extremely.
That's a pretty good way of putting it, too.
So the people voted it in, but yet it will to get it out, it will take 75% of the elected Republican officials to vote it out. It doesn't go back to the people.
Oh, it's the elected officials.
It's the Republican Party.
That's where the Rhino thing comes
it'll
up
take
in there.
75% of the people
Of the elected officials.
of the elected Republicans to vote this out, to get that out. And so, I mean, the chance of that happening it's really low.
Well, when you got rhinos.
And that's what we got. And so
We got a bunch of rhinos.
Actually, the open primary is one of the main reasons why we have this shattering of the party, right? Is because,
Absolutely.
And this is really a subject that I'm not that familiar with. Like, I'd way rather talk about PFAS, right? I know a lot more about chemistry than I know about politics. But why the Republican Party, how these rhinos are getting in there, and the whole thing with Dave Williams, and they basically tried to crucify him. And Jack made a real good point that they switch every 2 years. Well, 2 years is not even enough to figure it out. I mean, you come into a bunch of book work that's
Foreign to you.
well, that's a mess.
That was
It's not squared away.
So that there's standards of bookkeeping and things that need to be addressed, and that's what we got going on everywhere.
Well, and so why isn't Tracer a half a mile up their ass? I mean, I don't.
So here again.
See, this is all stuff that a common person is like, why do we have to follow the rules, but you all don't? So like the elected officials, it's like a free pass to just do whatever you want. It's bullshit.
Well, Matt Miles said it the best. They just don't follow the law. They just don't follow the law. They do what they want, when they want, and how they want. and they skirt the bejesus out of it. And the big thing is the madness will continue till the money runs out.
Well,
the money's running out.
What did the attorney tell you?
Which time and which attorney?
The dysfunctional attorney that's still the attorney right now. What did he tell you?
My God.
We can get out of pliable deniability or what?
Oh yeah, no, I think it's defensible.
Defensible.
Here again, you're in a fiduciary trust.
Don't matter.
Position.
You're breaking the law. It's defensible.
Well, that's when we was hired the Hunger Buster guy. We got him up into the HR and the finance department for a couple years. Couldn't get that figured out. Started dealing out to hand all the credit cards. That's when old Super Vern was up in there. And then they're going to promote him. They're promoting him to county manager. Going to promote him to county manager. Most folks, you don't know the significance of that, but they were trying to use him as a paperweight just to cover up all the inadequacies that they had borne. And there was a bunch of inadequacies. They weren't hiring people on merit. They were hiring their buddies, and either their buddy needed some kind of insurance or their wife needed insurance. They're like, oh, come on up in here. You don't have to do much. You don't know. This is county money. We'll get you insurance, though, and we'll help you, the buddy system. Well, that statute's all about not being able to hire your buddy and keeping you at arm's distance from that foul play. Because it's not your business. It's our business. If it's your business, you can roll like that. But when it's our business and you're interceding on our behalf, we're out there working and paying taxes at gunpoint, your ass has to be responsible. You can't make asinine decisions. Oh, my buddy need a little something. Oh, we can't fire this fat-ass attorney because he needs medical insurance. Just because he was over there poking the gal in the welfare office. I mean, this...
Married to boot.
I
know that don't mean anything today, but...
Well, it means a lot to a lot of folks. And so at the end of the day, there's principles and there's high standards of accountability. And these Nimrods just don't get it. They absolutely think, well, I'm signing in front of that paycheck. I'm the CEO. Oh, Billy Bob Biden, the most derelict individual ever on the face of the earth. We've heard some of your history too, Billy Bob Biden. But yeah, not good. Not good. Even when he was in some form of authority where he had a little lapel on him. No, you go over. We don't need you over here. You stay over. We give you over. You stay over. So he really goes off as great and wonderful Mr. Canada, but that's a bullshit story. And all this has happened on his watch.
Well, it has, because he's the only one left.
Well, he's the senior, and he got reelected. And I can't say that I didn't help him get reelected. I thought I had more trust in him. But my public trust...
Well, I mean, it goes so deep as to... I mean, him and his daughter have a septic company that does septic systems, but yet he's over here. What the hell did he do? I mean, that's conflict of interest with the septic thing.
Oh, yeah, on the Board of Health. Oh, we can't have these homeowners pulling their permit and installing their permit. And Dorothy, I'm just love you to death, sweetheart. You've done great. Especially with the PFAS bull crap. You're the one that let it out. But you guys are on tape, and both of you doing septic installs, and you were kind of
because Dorothy's husband does that too, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So if that's not conflict of interest, I don't know what is, folks.
So here again, they didn't recuse themselves. They didn't say, look, I have a vested interest in this, and indirectly or directly, I'm going to financially benefit from it. And I didn't see that integrity. I didn't see that. I didn't see the
Did
transparency.
we see anybody with integrity?
None. Vern Roth, you know I love you, Cranium. You know I love you. You got the great big old head up on you like that there. Boy, you've been in there. I've had all this stuff stored in my head for 7 years. That's why you got the name Cranium, because you went from artificial biker to cranium. So at the end of the
Do
day,
you own a motorbike, Vern?
hey, Vern, do you? He got a moped. But he looked good in that vest. Long story short, when you see malfeasance and misfeasance and nonfeasance taking place, if you're receiving taxpayers' dollars, it's your duty, whether you're an elected official, whether you're an employee, whether you're a contractor, receiving county money, receiving taxpayers' money. See, it's not an independent, it's not a sole proprietorship or an LLC.
Private?
Yeah, it's not a private entity.
Yeah.
Man, you're interceding on the people
and
that
that's-
don't have time enough to be there.
That's the whole thing, right? Is like that. I mean, it goes back to what we've talked about many, many times. It's the division is between how money is spent, right? So
Absolutely.
people are they
Liberal about it?
Think, well, yeah, I can
Hurry up and spend it before
I-
it's all
I can
gone,
get-
Billy Bob
I
Biden.
I can get a government job. I can
Oh,
get
buddy.
I can get
Now
a
we're getting into the heart of the matter.
I can get a government job, and this is how I'm going to operate. Right? There'll be plenty more money. All I need to do is just spend it, and there'll be plenty more. Right?
So there's no loss with taxes coming in. There's no profit or loss equated when you're in the private sector. When you're taking the risk and you're creating private profit, and then you have to take some of your private profit that you risked to gain or lose, and you had to give it to a bureaucrat. You had to give it to elected
So
officials.
let's talk about
When you start treating my money like that, I have a problem.
So here's another thing we wanted to bring up was the hospital district, and so they're having their election. We got the ballots. As far as I can see, everything was orchestrated like it's supposed to be, but there's some individuals that are concerned that there's not enough transparency. Nobody understands what it is, who they're voting for, which I totally agree. I don't know any of that.
I didn't get any emails or, hey, come look, we're having a debate. Here are the people that are hiring.
We already know how this goes, right? It's like,
Gee, man, Christmas, boy, do we ever.
yeah, I mean, and
Annie Oakley.
not to stand up for them, but you kind of gotta, on one foot, the people and their fortitude with the whole thing. It there ain't no wonder why people don't. Why would I go ahead and tell everybody they don't give a shit? Then nobody cares, right? They don't care till the house is on fire. And that's what's going on with this thing, right? All the stuff came out in January. There was no letters or anything then, right? So I mean,
Come on down to Liberty Rocks. We're going to introduce you to these folks. I didn't see that.
On one foot,
Sure.
you can see where the people that are trying to make a difference and running for these offices, they're like, man, most of the people I talk to do not care. Why would I waste my time? I've already gotten shunned 10 times at the grocery store trying to talk to somebody about it, and it's like I give up on it, right? So it's kind of a two-edged sword.
Absolutely, brother.
We're upset because we're not thinking we're not getting the right representation, but on the other hand, we haven't done enough to warrant the representation that we get. So, I mean, we kind of dropped the ball. The people, folks, have dropped the ball. That's what we've been saying the whole time. On the federal level, the state level, and the local level. The community, the individual, they're the ones that are in fault because
We the people.
let this go down like this.
Yeah. So here again, I know a little bit about the people that are running with the hospital board thing. I know a little bit about all that. I can't get stretched so thin. I really can't. I just don't. I'm not going to.
Well, I mean, we are.
But I know some of them folks, and some of them folks, I wouldn't let them babysit a parakeet. You know what I mean? So I want their I want it exposed.
But like,
Did Lenny send something? I know Lenarigo's all about. Hey, we need to.
He's all upset about it, but it's like, not to say, I'm not trying to be confrontational here, but like, all this stuff came out in January of 25. That's what the director of the election for the West Custer County Hospital District wrote back in an email. So why are we just now bitching about it? Because we just now seen the house is on fire, right? I mean, it came in front of us. We didn't understand what was going on or didn't pay attention. We were too busy or whatever, didn't understand or whatever. But I mean, they did what they were supposed to do.
They followed the procedure.
Yeah, I mean, they had the notices in the paper in January like they're required by law. And nobody gave a shit about it.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing. Nobody cared when the stuff came out. So it's nobody's fault but our own here, folks. And
I do remember some of us talking about it, but I didn't have the bandwidth. Man,
and that's where I'm at. I mean, I
don't have the bandwidth. I'm sorry, man.
I'm
lucky to make it here tonight.
We stopped them from spreading the sludge, right? I mean, that's.
We've done some pretty good stuff. I think the voice of two people with the accumulation of the people that are out there, that are watching us.
Like you say, there's only so much bandwidth available.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to do what they got to do. If we were rich, I mean, that's the thing. Once again, I'm not trying to demonetize or stereotypical someone, but the Democrats always have the money that they don't have to work, so that they can be the political people involved.
Absolutely.
They have the time and the lateral movement financially to be able to do this stuff. I mean, Jimmy and I are out here, we're scratching every day wondering how the hell we're going to pay, how we're going to get gas and how we're going to
talk about faith in God.
Pay the rent.
Talk about getting good at barely getting by. But we're warriors because we do have futures here. You were pretty much raised here. I mean, you're a big part of. I mean, you guys got a lot of skin in the game here. I'm kind of a newcomer. I've been here for 25, 27 years, thereabout. Been in construction, been pretty involved in the community. Came here to enhance it. I didn't come here. I know some people came here, well, it's a Christian Republican neighborhood. We came here to subdue it. Really? Okay, well, that's good. I know your name because I know which side of the page you're on. I came here to enhance it because this was a little slice of Americana. And in the time has passed.
So
a lot of time has passed, but a lot of people don't know how I've been involved in trying to keep Custer County when I came here to preserve it.
So this is the research that I've done this week for the stuff. So the West Custer County Hospital District is west of 165, which is the highway that goes from McKenzie Junction to Rye. So the West Custer County Hospital District is west of 165.
It's coming this way. Okay.
Right?
Where we had the rock slide down there is 165 going to the castle.
Yep.
So just for you folks, just to kind of get it in your head.
So that's the West Custer County Hospital District. Now, this was all short notice, and I appreciate my sources calling me back in time so that we could kind of put this together. But from what I've understood, right, so Heart of the Rockies. So this is a thing that doesn't make any sense to me. So Heart of the Rockies, it starts with the ambulance, right? So the ambulance, and this doesn't make any sense to me. Most of the time they're saying in all the rest of these counties, like Custer County is one of the only ones that can make it happen because actually Heart of the Rockies is paying. We still pay our taxes to support the EMS or the emergency medical services. So the
Comes out of our base taxes.
comes out of the mill levy. But why an ambulance ride can be tens, twenties, thousands of dollars, and they can't make that pencil? I don't understand that.
And I'm going to say something here that I talked to somebody today. Won't mention your name, but you're in the know. So when the power outage happened a few days ago, right? We didn't have no electricity. EMS could figure out how to open up the damn garage door to get the ambulance out.
They don't have a chain.
Oh,
They don't have the
have
the disconnect to roll it up by hand.
Hello. So they were packing stuff out of the ambulances and put it in their private cars to try to go save these people. So it's a cultural problem. We got dumb. We got stupid on top of stupid.
But so anyhow, back to what I was talking about is, so they, according to what I've been told from and I've got some people I've gotten some names that I didn't have time to get a hold of to maybe dig into a little farther. I mean, one of the things that a lot of people have a problem with here, folks, is why are we paying a mill levy and paying for all this stuff when we're leasing it to Heart of the Rockies, and they're the ones paying. And I know there's so many patients over there that the doctors can't handle any more patients. So and we all know the price of healthcare, right? I mean, the healthcare is the most expensive thing out there. So why?
Jeez.
So supposedly Heart of the Rockies. So this is what they're telling me though, is most ambulances are paid for by the county mill levy, and most of them can't make no money, which seems really far-fetched to me, as much as it costs. Now, if you were talking about $500 for a ride, then I could understand that. But when you're talking about $30,000 for a
little tote down the hill.
Yeah, for an hour drive away, and you can't make that pencil. I mean, I don't know enough about the
So
books,
the need for Elon Musk and a forensic look at this thing in a common sense, neutral position, saying, where are we going here? Money's a tool. We're not in bondage to that.
And it's real simple: is how many rides did you take at $30,000? How many of them did you do? But you can't do that. You can't support that on your own. You got to get money from the mill levy, and you got to get money from Heart of the Rockies.
Very suspicious. Here again,
Is that because the board, the West Custer County board, the board that's governing the clinic and the maintenance people and all of the stuff,
the
is
retirement and all the government administration
eating up all the money?
Is that cancer just so absorbent that we can't actually serve the people because the government and the people that are getting
seems awful fishy.
So here again, that statute reads back if there's some suspicious activity going on, folks, you have the ability to have an affidavit, go to the DA, say investigate it, and they must investigate. And if it comes up, like you said, if your suspicion comes true and there's some foul play.
And then we wonder why someone like Mr. Arrigo wants to get the state involved in getting an audit, because we can't seem to get no satisfaction with why the county won't be straight with what the finance is. That's the whole problem here, folks. Back to what we've said it 100 times, and we're going to say it 100 more. It's all about how the money's spent. The people in charge of our money don't think that they need to be responsible or credible for what it is, right? They just keep spending it. 250 grand for a sidewalk at the courthouse that they're wanting to not abandon, or they're wanting to not use anyhow. I mean, that's
enough to piss you plumb off.
It is.
It's almost like you're using the taxpayer money
it's almost like
to feather your own individual hat and your selfish gain.
Well, and how's anybody going to gain by I mean, it's your brother-in-law owns a concrete company and the engine $100,000 to engineer a sidewalk and another
very suspicious,
and another $150,000 to pour it. It's like, I know the boys at the concrete company pretty good, and I mean, I'm not a concrete guy, but I mean, like, whatever, even at $300 a yard.
I'm a concrete guy, and I'm just going to tell you, I can run numbers
There's
pretty damn fast.
That's a lot of sidewalk.
I know it's 80 square feet. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of
4
sidewalk.
inches deep is a yard, and when you double that for a wall, it's 8 inches deep. It's 40 square feet. I do know. I know concrete inside.
So how much concrete can we get for 150 grand?
Shit.
How big a sidewalk is that?
Yeah. And then you got to have a little oxygen in it. Nothing yeah, really. And here again, I think the private sector for advertisement, goodwill, lower taxes, the private sector can absolutely do so much better job than some hired idiot.
That's what competition.
That thinks
that's what competition will do for you.
Well, not only that, but it's advertisement, it's goodwill, and it's being American, and it's about that intestinal fortitude. About we're a Republican, we're a constitutional republic.
When it's competition, it's like,
Skippy,
I'm hungry, right? So I'll do it for this rate because I'm hungry. I need the money, right? Should be maybe worth more? Maybe it is worth more, but I'm hungry. And also, I'll do it for this price.
So you actually got a balance of the market. It balances it keeps the market fair.
Yeah.
It's a fair market. But when you have an elected official that's a commissioner goes into his elected position, and you ask him, hey, the finance and the auditor, and it's all about their tax preparation people, Jimmy. We got derelict people. So what we've got to be able to do, anybody else that's getting in a commissioner position, and Paul, I'm not going to devalue you. I value you very highly, but I'm just saying the people that are there, it almost looks as if their hands are tied because of the employees that are there.
Well, we know that.
But I want a test. We want a test. You're going to have to pass the Jimmy Steve test because we're going to demand a debate. We're going to demand you come out and talk to us before you get in there. Before you get a chair to represent us again, the bar is going to be raised high enough. We're going to have to pass a test, at least on ethics. Probably a little bit about the law and your mouth and your duty and your oath. Those are the heart of the matter here. And we also want to be able to involve our younger kids around here saying, yeah, I like our county. I don't want to move. And if I can be a politician, not a politician, I'm not going to call it a politician. I'm going to say a statesman. A statesman.
It's a public servant is what it is.
It's a public servant, but you need to be a statesman. And Franklin said, you know what? Go serve your time, but get back to the plow. Go serve your country in all the humility and honesty and integrity and love that you have. But then don't. And they also got paid per diem. They got paid here. What did it cost you to come up here and serve us? Here's a few bucks. You know, here, this will offset your cost. Kind of like our local people going up to the state and voting.
Well,
here's some per diem.
Kind of like Dave Williams trying to
handle
the stuff, but there's no money to even pay him.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, we understand when you take time out of your personal life to be a public servant, you need some form of compensation. especially in a high inflation and territory that we're in. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to transparency, integrity, and knowing some of the law.
And it's all about, it really is about a mindset. It's back to the same thing. How is money spent? Are you fiduciarily conservative, or do you feel like that there's a never-ending well that you can just spend?
Hurry up and spend it before it's all gone. Hey, buddy boy, how come you're taking the snowplow down a road that ain't got no snow on it? How come your ass ain't parked? How come that thing, why are we wearing and tearing our stuff?
Kind of have to laugh at the town. They got to put the hours on that new loader. Oh, we got to get another loader after that to remove snow. It's like, in 2 days, it's already melted.
Let mother relax a little bit. I mean, we have got so much government for the government supported by the people, and that's what the feds are cracking down on. And I did go to that liberal meeting there with you commissioners, and Jim Gilbert was the moderator. Boy, they sure was mad at old Donald Trump. When are you commissioners gonna draw a line in the sand and not take any more? I never seen such asinine Americanism ever in my life. You guys ain't Americans, you're communists. People in there trying to straighten out and save our money and save our country. Oh, when are you commissioners? And Lucas, you did that was pretty good. The other couple guys there, old Paul, he's pretty tight-lipped, and old Bill, he don't know whether he's shit or go blind. He's like a frog in a hailstorm. But Lucas, you said, you get more trouble coming out of the state than you do the feds. And the poor old liberals, they don't get it. They just keep thinking that keep that money coming. Take from them rich people and give to us. Take from them rich people. They don't know them rich people are paying more taxes than everybody combined. I mean, think about the thing that they created. Think about what they created. All the employees that they employ, the risk that they take, and then they're paying insurances. They're paying retirement. They're taking out the taxes and paying the government because of something that they created. These people don't get that. They don't have a clue because they've never had to sign in front of a paycheck. They never had to put their ass on the line. And that's the destructive thing about liberals. It all is just free and easy. It's just money.
It's always been like that for them. That's the thing. Democrats normally have more money. They have that, somehow they have that.
We could see where they was getting it from now.
Yeah, they have that tap into the
free money. Tap into the congressman or the senator or the special interest and tap in that government. Oh, it's government money. Well, let me tell you something, Nimrod. The government don't have no money. The only money they got is mine. But the government's got money. Oh, the government's got money. The government never made a red cent in its life. Every penny that it's ever made.
The government's not supposed to make money. That's the whole thing.
They're not the profiteer. They're not profiteer.
True. That is communism.
Yeah.
Whenever the state is making money against the private sector, then that's communism.
Get you another wood chipper up in there.
Chippers,
get a dump trailer, and let's create another job. You guys, you people are more screwed up than homie's checkbook. That's all I'll tell you. And it's going to have to come to an end. Somewhere along the line, we've got to get our county straightened up. I don't know. I'm 62. I might live to be 68.
Well, if you're on Social Security, it'll be 268.
Oh yeah, hell, you can't die. So, anyways, at the end of the day, I don't want high taxes. I moved up here to enhance this place. It's willing to fight for how it is, and the contamination of whatever this is that's coming in here. Whatever the contamination is it lack of knowledge? Is it just
It's
incompetence?
socialism
Is
and
it-
communism. I mean,
is
it's Fabian socialism is what it is, folks. Look up the definition here. I'll look it up real quick for you.
Absolutely.
This
So,
is
so
a
that's
good-
a big deal.
Yeah, this is a good one.
It really is. But it's what's in your heart.
Where are you going?
I'm heading over here. I gotta go tinkle. Sorry. Fabian socialism.
Fabian socialism is a type of socialism that promotes gradual and democratic change rather than revolutionary or violent upheaval. It's associated with the Fabian Society, a British intellectual movement founded in 1884, which aimed to transform society by influencing politics, education, and public policy. That's what we're talking about, folks. Politics, education, and public policy. That's all the stuff that's wrong, what we're talking about. Gradualism. Change should come through slowly and progressively through reforms, not by overthrowing the government or capitalism overnight. Democratic means it supports achieving socialistic goals through elections, legislation, and public persuasion rather than revolution. That's what they're doing with the open primaries. Republicans no longer get to choose Republicans. We're getting independents choosing Republicans.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the frog in the frying pan thing.
Focus on the welfare state. It strongly supports public services like education, healthcare, and housing, essentially creating a mixed economy with both public and private sectors. That's what we just talked about, folks. When the state is making money against the private sector, that's socialism. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and we're going to head that off the path. The government get involved in low-income housing or workforce housing. You could put whatever kind of label you want on that. And then getting involved in fire mitigation. Come on, man. The writing's right here in front of our face. If there was ever a time to have a public outcry, it's now. And then we had that Common Core that come up in here. Swept the nation.
Swept the whole world.
Swept the whole world.
UNICEF.
Yeah. We got to pull our heads out of our ass and get back to the common sense, biblical, godly kind of loving things that work in nature. It's natural.
Common sense.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can say all that other stuff too, but it's like, God dang, can't we just have some good old-fashioned common sense? We don't have to get religious and we don't have to do all of that stuff. We can just like common sense. Can we get some of that?
Well, and it does come down
saying.
to that. But it comes down to looking at the forefathers, how they developed this country, the minutes in the discussion of how they came to the decisions that they did. When we start taking that away from the kingdom, from our republic, from which it stands, we start undermining the kingdom, not with a gun, but with what you just read.
And that's what they're doing. I mean,
You don't
it's
take a
slow.
strong kingdom with a gun.
They're talking about it don't matter how long it takes. If it takes 250, 350, 450
Never quit.
years. They have the long term in mind.
China.
Americans are not normally like that, right? We want, and I'm the same way. I want results now. I want results. Not tomorrow or next week. Now. I want now. I want stuff done now. And I'm never going to change, right? When I'm working on this hydraulic cylinder, I want it done now. Not tomorrow or not next week. Now. And
Get
so
on to the next thing.
yeah, I got stuff to do. I don't have time to wait. So I know sometimes you and I kind of go round and round about convenience and and these kind of things that maybe are the downfall to society. But for me, it's not. It's efficiency. I want stuff done so I can get to the next action. That's called efficiency, and it's called productivity, folks. Let's get this stuff, let's get it rolling. Let's get it done. Oh, well, we'll be in session. We got to go on a 6-week session for Congress and the government's going to, I mean, it's just like they have no prerogative to get something done today. And that's just not where I'm at in my life. And I'm not going to change. I'm too old.
This country wasn't built for thieves and special interest people. We, the people, have not gotten engaged in our politics. And I don't say that lightly, because I say, if you're a statesman, if you understand and you love your country, and you're willing to die, and you're willing to stand up, and you're willing to tell somebody, look, that ain't right. There's things that make things right. There's things that make things wrong. We don't have that. We ain't got anybody with enough backbone or balls or whatever you want to call it. It's go along, get along. Just get along.
It's that same.
We all got a mortgage to pay.
It's that same thing. It's back to how you spending your money. If you're conservative, you need results, because you're going to run out. There's only so much fuel in the tank. So if you don't get the
you got to keep making profit.
If you don't drag the field on the tank of fuel that's in there, you just let the tractor sit there and idle, and it runs out of gas, and you don't have the field.
And you didn't get her drug.
Dumbass.
You ain't going to make no profit.
What you've done is spent the money you had.
Yeah. And wasted it.
Wasted it. That's what we're talking about here. Waste. You're wasting your resources.
Yeah. So when the snow plow's going down the damn road and there ain't a damn lick of snow to be had, hey, why were you going down? Well, if we don't use up our money, we'll lose it. If we don't use the money, if we don't spend it, we don't get it. Well, asshole, that don't work in the real world. And why is the government in the fiduciary trustee position at the liberty to go out and waste money that they hold a gun to our head? If you don't pay, we'll take your property. If you don't pay, we'll come and arrest you. And you're going to go out here and willy-nilly waste our money? You're going to create large retirement programs and medical programs for government employees when you're public servants? You don't have to worry about profit and loss. Your money's already taken from the profit of us. You get to spend our profit, and it's pretty consistent. Oh, $6 to $8 million is what we get to use here in Custer County. That's a budget. You ought to figure out how to be responsible about it. At least be able to show where it went. That's why I say that is so important. The finance department is the hub of the county, because we know where our money went. And it takes accountability. And you need an accountant, not cranium, in there scratching his head and thinking, damn, I've had this in my head for 7 years. You couldn't find your ass with both hands. We got a 2-hour tape of you mumbling and jumbling, bud. When the subpoenas start and the state evidence starts, I'm going to tell you, the shit's going to hit the fan.
So we're going to spend 2.5% of our 2.5% of our budget on a sidewalk.
Piss me off. Go ahead and piss me off. That's what I'm saying. This is to the point where it has to stop. And you people that are in power have the power to stop it. And you willfully don't do it. You get along, go along, and you let the employees hold you hostage. Rip that Band-Aid off, let's go. Your duty is to us, not them. Oh, they're constituents too. They live here. No, as soon as you take that badge of a public servant, you're done. You're done. You're held to a higher standard. You can't willy-nilly just use our money for your own selfish ass gain. You can't do it. You can, but we're gonna stop you. I personally have a goal where your asses are gonna get. You're gonna have to start telling on each other. Hey, you know that's not right to do that. You're wasting the public's money. Your loyalty is to the people. We're paying your wage. It's not your own business. Once you step over to that public servant realm, you owe a duty. There's a duty you're owed. That's why that law speaks very highly of if you see that kind of crap going on, as an elector, you have the ability to fill out an affidavit and go to the DA, and the DA must or shall, I forget the word, investigate. And if that investigation comes to pass and they find him guilty, your ass is removed from office if you're an elected official. And if you're an employee, you're fired and charges will be brought. And if you're a contractor getting public money, there's consequences. We just don't exercise that statute. We're begging you to willfully submit to your duty so we don't have to be the buttheads. So anyways.
That's about enough, ain't it?
I don't know.
I've had enough.
Have you had enough?
We've had enough for tonight, folks. We appreciate everybody, as always.
Yeah, you guys, hang in there. Please get engaged. And if you're on the CCRCC, work a little harder. Try a little harder. Get people involved. Get an email established. I don't know what to say.
With that being said, folks, we wish you all a great evening and see you next week.
Yep, take it easy.